My companion of the soul. Richard III is the son of our pastor, Dick Butts. His daddy calls him Dickie, but Richard doesn't think that's dignified enough for a future spiritual leader. His granddaddy was Dick Butts too, so Richard III it is, though I mostly just call him the third. The third is brilliant in a million different ways, but he, so far, has not understood the joy of setting a goal that is out of reach and getting it met. If he doesn't think it will be reached, he won't try, whereas I believe that failing is a part of life, which is why sooner or later I'll drive him nuts. It's my purpose in life to fail small in many little things, so when I fail big enough, I won't crack. A few days ago, he called and was very sad. So as my father was driving me to the poetry contest and back again, and seeing how we was going to be in the neighborhood anyway, I asked my dad if we might go detour to the university where the third was studying his degree in theology. The whole trip to the contest and back was 1,110 miles and took exactly 24 hours. This was my mother bird's first trip. He's a big green and red parrot and is used to sitting on top of a floor-to-ceiling cage and going in and out as he likes. Being shoved in a travel cage was an affront to his dignity, and he screamed the whole time. And where he learned those words, I don't know, and I ain't going to repeat them, but they were nasty. When we arrived, I called to tell him I had surprised him by coming up. I said, "I have news." And he said, "Are you seeing someone else?" Which made me realize I had done it again, looked before I leapt. I was not seeing anyone, but I was not seeing him either. I was seeing, well, life, I suppose, and where I should be in it. It sounds very clear in my mind, but when I open my mouth, it's as clear as a moonless night. I tell him I'm here and that my dad agreed to drop me off if I paid for the car's gas bill. Richard is impressed and does the calculations. 1,101 miles with gasoline so high means I shelled out at least $165 in gas for a weekend visit. I just mean it to be friendly, but Richard is sure the engagement is on. Ha! As I waited for Richard to get ready, and I checked my cell phone messages, I had a message from a reporter because I was going to get interviewed for winning a $1,000 scholarship. I received another phone call because I was being recommended for another scholarship, and I had a good chance of winning if I sent in the correct paperwork. A friend called me and said some people from Hollywood came into town to make a movie called Werewolves of the State Pen, and they're looking for kids to be in a big scene, and did I want to try screaming? And some contest official called because I won 2 movie tickets to the premiere of a movie called Almost Like Heaven. I had entered the contest just before I left and forgot about it. I'm actually having a better life in Carolina, out of Carolina, than when I really was in Carolina. The poetry slam was tomorrow, and I was trying to write something to read, but there's always the Richard factor. I wonder if that isn't the reason I keep on writing, and weirdly the thing I like best of all about him, he hates everything I write. What does that say about me? Therefore, I keep asking him what he thinks, only to be shot down. I imagine one day he will actually not hate everything I do. This will not really happen, but I pretend it will. But I take his advice and edit my poem. Here it is, and don't tell me if you don't like it. That's what I got Richard for. Enigma. I live in fear of bleeding adjectives, trying to take an inventory of my life. Cannot be satisfied with borrowed light. Not all tears are visible, hiding. I cry in the rain. What happiness will be found? Will I destroy it? Everything I'm seeking, only in search of the perfect me. Richard III said, well, on the pop charts it would get a 7 or 8. On the art charts it would get a 2 to 3. The topic is so often overdone and the symbolism is overused. Sometimes what makes a poem great is what you don't say. I wonder what he's not saying.